Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more CSGO news, probably the last episode of this week. We do have some pre-recorded content for the weekend though, and thank you all for the great week, guys. It was an amazing week, and it does continue for one last video, that being today. Everything will be timestamped down below. Let's hop into it, and let's actually start our video off with a clip out there for all of you guys from Blast Pro Moscow. It was actually Frankie asking NIP members about their future plans, what they want to do, and unfortunately enough, GeT was actually asked, and to give you guys preface as well, I don't blame Frankie for asking the question. I think it was actually made just very awkward in itself by someone like GeT, and I can't really blame anyone in this instance. It just makes me feel very bad for the guy. So here's his answer to that question.
You with the team or not? So for you, what's your plan? What do you want to do?
No comment.
That's absolutely fair enough. You do not have to comment. But
like, god dang, what is going on over there? And it's obviously a very sensitive subject, so maybe walk the line of what questions to ask and not to ask, but who knows what Frankie is being prompted with from the staff of what questions to ask out of a NIP, right? What else would you ask these guys? Everyone wants to know what their future plans might be. It just so happens that GeT has been on the fence of what he's going to do with the future of CS. I did think he made it. The tension there with that clip was surprising. Alongside that, it really makes you wonder what his future might be outside NIP, because what I got from this is he's certainly not going to be staying with the Ninjas. I also, though, if you guys want to go rewatch the clip, feel free to. You look at Lekro, he's smiling like a little child the entire time because he probably knows, oh, you shouldn't have asked that question to GeT right. Either way, though, I think it's a bit of a blown out proportion, that being maybe a poor question to ask. I really don't care about that. I think the answer in itself, the response, it was pretty shocking. So I don't think GeT going to be there once his two events do go off. The real question is, though, will he retire? Will he play for another team? And who will that team be? Super curious what your guys' thoughts are on that. Now, also speaking of potential new teams out there, we could have FaZe Clan playing with Broky alongside potentially new members, as we expect to be coldzera by ESL New York, especially that being Broky, though. And what we've heard so far, rumors, for anyone curious, Alexi B-Talk has pretty much been shut out and silent ever since the initial rumors a couple months back. So it does seem to be Broky and coldzera. It does seem to be Neo and Guardian as well. Neo's already out. Guardian is pretty much on Na'Vi already. They need two players. It seems that Broky will be one of them, and coldzera could be the other. Broky, though, could be actually seen his first start by ESL New York. We'll see how it goes. Oh, and anyone who does not know, a few questions out there. I know you guys probably know as well, though. The IGL will be passed back to Nico. I thought that was known. I thought it was actually announced through an interview. I could be wrong about that. So yes, with no Alexi, no IGL, it will be passed back to Nico once again, which I think a lot of people are worried about, and I would say rightfully so. Last time that did happen, it was a definite fall off, as per usual, when a rifler does go down to the IGL role or takes that on those reigns. Now, also, on top of that, guys, some big news out there, especially for Brazilian fans. If I have any left that actually watch this stuff, because I make some jokes from time to time. They are jokes because it's actually a very serious and big topic out there. That being Luminosity Gaming have now backed out seemingly entirely from CSGO. Ever since 2015 holding rosters, they have now let their entire roster go. I would say a bit surprisingly, given the historical precedence of this organization throughout the past 4.5 years or so, and having some pretty decent rosters, some very good players go through the organization. They were a pretty big standpoint in Brazilian CS. Alongside that, these players also did hold down ECS as well as ESL Pro League spots. Not easy to do, although my speculation towards this, give me a second to give my side. I thought it was actually because, as of this morning, it's now been confirmed that Luminosity Gaming will be entering Call of Duty's franchise league next year. As many of you guys know, 25+ million for the spot, alongside salaries for 7 to 10 players. My speculation was they're backing out of CSGO. It's very pricey, not profitable, and putting those funds towards allocating for their future Call of Duty roster. I've been told otherwise, which would be mean pointing to obvious facts, guys. This roster, besides holding down those league spots, has not done much successfully, not making the major, not really making too many top tier events, if any, over the past year or so. That would be no big surprise as to why they were cut, but the organization leaving Counter-Strike altogether entirely is a bit surprising, so I'd have to assume those funds will be pushed towards their Call of Duty investments as well, although they do have many investment partners, of course, taking on that as well. So I would say a pretty well-known, if not infamous, famous words, Brazilian organization now leaving CSGO, guys. So pretty pretty big news out there. Sorry to see and sad to see, and we'll see if they ever do come back to the scene. And very lastly, for all of you fans of North American CSGO, some changes are happening, some huge changes. Now, I'll be the first one to admit Envy, with their newer roster, did not succeed to the level that I thought they were. Every team I cheer for over the past year has not really done too well, especially when we look at Envy, we look at Ghost Gaming, who's departed their roster altogether. I'm not good luck. Envy did not have good luck either. That roster, I think we can all agree, did not fulfill what we thought they would. They certainly had some issues and probably some bigger changes coming soon for that roster in the near future. One of them will be Sonic, now leaving that roster, going back to ATK. On top of that, guys, Team ATK has recently signed players like Floppy from Team Singularity. I think a great pickup as well, and we're going to be seeing maybe potentially with Sonic now coming back from Envy, now Floppy joining from Singularity, ATK, Envy. They're making some moves that I think are very progressive, and hopefully going to see them and maybe a North American minor, maybe take a jab at the major if they keep that roster improving. Now, speaking of Singularity, though, as we go through the trifecta of North American changes, speaking of Floppy going from Singularity to ATK, Singularity now reported apparently some buyouts combined of their coach and player. That's going to be Sheikh Zula, their coach, alongside Hydrex, their player, combined $60,000 of the buyouts. So together, they are going to be costing $60K for anyone who does want them. Rumors actually brought to us first by Rush B Media. Apparently, it was actually Chaos to return to North American CSGO with Steel, Rush, a very solid-looking roster, at least on paper, if those guys can actually reach their peak form. And who they actually wanted for their coach? Sheikh Zula. Who they wanted for one of their players? Hydrex. So that's why Singularity Announcements have now announced their buyouts combined to be $60,000. The question is it worth it? You know, that Mountain Dew League team, they did have an ECS spot through Challenger. Besides that, though, it's a bit of a steep, I would say, estimation or a buyout clause for those two guys combined. But is it ridiculous? Not really. So we will wait to see how NA, I would say lower NA scene does shuffle up, guys. Envy making changes. ATK, they might have their solidified roster. Singularity seems to be going away from CS and selling all their players. Chaos is set to return with a pretty solid roster. They were also looking at NATO Safix to join them as well. So alongside a guy like Hydrex and Sheikh Zula from Singularity, some big changes coming for the lower North American scene. And very lastly, for all of you guys, in closing CSGO news, let's keep it very fast. You guys know how Blast Pro works. They have a few teams that are actually signed to go to all their events, but either more than that, guys, we got the Global Final Challenge coming up, okay? It's going to be the peak of Blast Pro and their train of events so far throughout the year. Where it's going to be, according to HLTV, you guys, can you guess the city? Can you guess it? Have you guessed it yet? BAHRAIN. I hope I did not mispronounce that, guys. Yes, BAHRAIN might be the lead city or the eventual end city for the Blast Pro Moscow series. If you're surprised, I'm surprised too, okay? They had trouble selling tickets in Los Angeles, over in LA. I can't imagine how they're going to sell tickets in BAHRAIN, but if they want to have a beautiful venue, I'm sure they do. Can they actually get the venue goers to go to the event is an entirely different question. So a bit of a surprise there, a bit of a curveball from Blast Pro, guys. We'll see how it ends up going. As always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you all for a great week. It was a great week. It was a fun week, and I hope you guys all have a great and fun weekend yourselves, okay? Have fun. I'll see you soon. Have a sip of coffee. Have some caffeine, okay? Have some fun. Goodbye.